Lynn with Belly Glow Photography. And recently I've gotten a few questions from both moms who just love to shoot and fellow professional photographers in regards to how do you have such a quick culling turnaround? It seems like you take the photos, you import them into your computer, and next thing you know, within 45 minutes to an hour, you're posting the entire gallery. Well, it has taken me some time to learn this process. There was a time in my photography career where it literally would take me 3 to 4 weeks to get a client's photos back to them, which is horrendous. Looking back, I'm just, wow, have I grown. And I hope that you look back on your photography and try to focus on areas where you have grown as well. And hopefully this will be one more opportunity to grow in the workflow process. So for the sake of time, I am going to pretend like we've already imported these images. I'm sure you know how to do that. I do set all of my folders according to month and date in the year, just because for me it's easier. You'll notice down here on the side, it's easier for me to find things if I tag them. And so what I'd like to do first is walk you through it. So I've imported my photos into my folder. I have selected all my photos and have decided, okay, I'm going to drag them all into this collection. And I've named the collection Kailani Culling Collection so that I don't get confused as to what it is, which can be easy to do sometimes. So now that I'm in this collection, I'm going to hit the tab key, which will expand my interface so that I can have a much bigger view. And so what I'm going to do is, like I said, these are definitely not professional shots that I've taken. It was just chasing my daughter around on the beach and playing around. So my first step that I like to do is I go to view and I sort all of my photos by the aspect ratio. It just makes it easier to compare your images. Then I go all the way so you can see now that they've all been, sorted. And so we start up here at the top. And what I like to do personally is I go to every set of images, set of poses that are near the same. I select them all. I hit the N key to go into survey mode. And then this is where I just go with my gut now. I used to be in a place where I just wanted to keep every single photo because I kept thinking, what if I want to use it later? I can't get rid of it. Finally, I've learned that once I look at that photo, my very first gut instinct, if I'm like, this photo's okay, I immediately throw it out. I delete it out of my system entirely. And the ones that I feel like, oh, this is a great shot, those are the ones that I leave alone. So once you've Control A for Mac and you have hit the P key for select, you're going to come back down to your filter right here. And you're going to select the filter for pick. So then we're going to go into our survey mode, like I had said, and we're going to select just this set of images because, like I said, they're very similar. So I open it up. I notice right away that there's a photo bomber here, there's some garbage right here, there's more photo bombers, yet this one is nice and clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the X button, and because we have this filter here, watch the magic. Boom, boom, boom. Simple as that. When you go back into your grid, now they're gone. And then I come to the next set, which looks fairly the same. And I look at this one, it's a little, fuzzy. I'm not really impressed with the look on her face. This one's kind of cute. To save time as well, if I find an image like this, I'll use my quick develop. It's quite useful. So don't be afraid to utilize that. If I notice the image next to it is a little dark as well, to the same degree, then I just come down here to sync the settings, and we're good. So now let's go into this. I've gotten to a point where I can select a few poses at the time. So I've selected my poses that are similar, hit the N key for survey, and I go through them again and I look at them. And this one, they're doubles. I don't really need those. These ones are a little dark. Do I really want to take the time to fix them? This one's fuzzy, so we're going to get rid of this one and set it aside. Now notice how dark this one is. We can select it while we're in survey mode and brighten it up so that we can kind of get a better idea of what's going on. This one I'm not really caring for. She kind of looks like a monkey there. This one is not too awesome either, so we're going to X that one out. We're going to come down. These are okay. Now these ones, I notice I pay attention to the legs. When I have a shot of someone walking, I pay attention to their legs. Are their legs extended so that you can clearly see that they're walking? So because these two are not extended, that's my immediate choice. I'm going to go with the one that's extended. I don't need multiple shots of the same pose. It can get quite boring very quickly. Again, here's two more poses that look the same. For chasing around children, sometimes it's just better to shoot on burst. I mean, they're just so active. Now this one, so I would choose this one because you can see more sand on her toes. We don't need this because it's the same exact pose. Then we're going to get rid of this one, and so on and so forth. So you can see what I'm doing. Again, I pay attention to the legs. This one, her legs are extended. This I'm kind of okay with. So if you notice, I'm hitting the X, but I'm not deleting them. Now this one, she's got kind of a runny nose, but that we can save for later. But I did cut off her leg. So there goes that one. That one's bye-bye. Again, I pay attention to the legs. She looks more like she's walking in this one. So this one's going to go. Then I continue on. So I'm going to take a minute to just knock these out for you. You can watch for a quick second and we'll show you how fast the culling process really can be. So just go ahead and watch for a second, and after a while you can get to a point where you can take far more images. I love the feet here. This is great. That's great. That one's okay, but we're going to get rid of it. Love this one. Love that one. Notice I'm paying attention to the water. You want to pay attention to the small details that could make the image. This one we're not going to use because, well, it's a little bit boring. So we're going to go back and get back into survey. And I love that water right there. So we're not going to get rid of that one. We're going to hit X for this one to get rid of it. Again, she's active. This one, her hair is a hot mess, and I'm not really feeling that. Again, her hair is kind of a hot mess. So we're going to keep this one. We're going to get rid of this one because if I had to choose between the two, this one is far better. So let's get rid of that. And notice how I'm not afraid to delete things. It's okay. If you back your images up, when you first import them, back all of them up in the original files, you don't have to worry about deleting things when you're editing because at the end of the day, you still have them somewhere. So I think one of the things that holds a lot of photographers back is they're just afraid to delete their photos. And I know that because, you know, there was a time where I was afraid. And so here we go. We're going to go ahead and continue on. This one, again, she's walking and you can see that my phone started to get hazy. I love that she's running right here. She's got the water right there. Love that. This one, so these are all okay and they're definitely fixable. This I was playing with earlier, so we're going to ignore that. Now when I shoot details, what I do to get them out of the way immediately is I select them all and I put them aside, and then I hit Command G, and that puts them in a nice little stack for me. And then as I see more detail shots, I just drop them into that. That kind of handles that right away. So we're going to continue on. And we have this. That's okay. I really don't like that she's cut off in that photo. Her little toe is cut off. She is also cut off here. That one's kind of a neat angle, so we're going to keep that one. These two, she's in the same exact pose, but I like that she's a little farther away here. And so we're going to get rid of that. This one's safe. We're going to keep these two because they're quite cute. Now these two are exactly the same pretty much, but I like that her hand is a little closer. And again, she's walking, so it's much more interesting than this photo. And then these two can stay because she's walking. So it's very, very quick and efficient, as you can see. And so I just go in and select as many as I can at one time. I'm not sure how big your screen is, but I know that on an iMac, I work on an iMac 27. And so, you know, of course, it's really nice that I can pick up quite a few images at the same time. You'll notice up at the top right, these are blurry, so we're going to get rid of those. I really don't like, I love that her hands are so perfect right here. So we're going to go ahead and go with my gut, and we're going to keep this one. Again, it's very, you got to go with your gut. What I see may not interest you. The things that I think are keepers won't be keepers for you. But that's the great thing about being an artist, is this is your chance to express yourself and to show the world what you have to say and how you see it. And so don't be afraid to really venture out and break some of the rules. Some of the best artistry has come out of people being willing to break the rules. And so don't be afraid, my friend. I just really encourage you. Um, I was also asked, which I'll talk about as I finish these, I was also asked what was my biggest challenge when first starting out. And again, if I had to pick just one thing, my biggest challenge was not respecting myself as an artist. I thought because I just started out and because I wasn't making thousands of dollars a year and because I didn't have the greatest gear or the best opportunities that I just wasn't a great photographer. I wanted to be one, but I just felt like I wasn't. And so that reflected in how I priced my imagery. When someone would want to book me, I would totally lowball myself and, you know, do a shoot for $15 an hour. And my friend, if this is something you want to take seriously as a business, be bold. Know what you're worth. And don't be afraid to request what you are worth. Obviously, you don't want to get too crazy and suggest astronomical prices that don't match your skill quite yet, but don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth. And so that held me back for quite a few years. And it does affect your business overall. It really does, because you know, if you can't make money, you're not going to break even. You're going to put more money in than you're actually getting back. And even worse, you're teaching your clients that, you know, they can receive something for nothing. So then when you are ready to raise your prices, nobody's going to work with you because they've gotten used to your photography being quite inexpensive. And so you don't want to send that message, my friend. And so these have already been edited. I love her little hand right here. This one's duplicate. This, let's get rid of this one and this one. We have enough of her. So there we are. Boom. We have narrowed down quite a few images in what, less than 10 minutes? So the next step that I do is I hit Control Backspace, because remember we've done a filter here. Control Backspace, and it will tell you remove 42 rejected photos from the current collection. What's great about doing it this way is you're not yet deleting them off the hard disk. So if you're still a little unsure and you think later you might go back and keep a few, great. That way they're still protected. But as you can see, we've gotten rid of a huge load in very, very little time. So we're going to remove that from our collection. Now this is what we are left with. And now I have chosen a reasonable amount of images to begin culling on. In the next video, I will show you how I edit my images quickly. I hope that this has been really helpful. I wish you nothing but the best in your photography venture and your business ventures, and have a great day, everybody.